How's it going, everybody? Nerds Rising here, and welcome back to the Nerd Cave. In today's video, we're going to be closing out the Great League in this season with a little bit of spice from PinkGod777. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with that name, this is the trainer that used the Triple Reggie theme team in the Ultra League recently and had some absolutely incredible wins. So I know that we're going to see some high-level gameplay here. Already a legend, and just having some fun right now. Now, obviously, this is Open Great League. We are currently in the Fantasy Cup in Master League. Although at the time of actually recording this, there's still like an hour left of the Great League. But I put a poll out recently and asked you guys what you wanted to see in the next 2 weeks. And it was pretty overwhelmingly positive that you guys were okay with seeing other cups than just what's currently rotating. Because, you know, I'm not going to be hating too much on the cups that we're ending with, but why do they end with a Catch Cup in Master League every season, guys? I truly do not know. I don't mind that they do, but I really think they should offer a third option as well, like a 1500 CP format, because I really feel bad for everybody that's still trying to grind out their ELO goals here in the next couple days and weeks, because it's going to be very difficult, especially for someone like myself who doesn't invest a ton of resources into the game. I'm actually free to play, if you guys can believe that. I've spent money in the past on the game for sure, but I truly haven't spent any money on the game in probably, I don't know, over a year at least. I haven't bought any raid passes, so I don't do raids. I'm probably not going to have hardly anything ready for the Catch Cup, and my Master League roster is just extremely embarrassing. I can do okay in the Premier formats, but I just don't do enough raids, guys. So I basically, if I was not Legend already, I basically could not hit Legend this last 2 weeks, even if I wanted to. So anyway, my point of saying that is you guys are going to be seeing some non-Fantasy Cup, non-Master League, non-Catch Cup videos probably from me in the next 2 weeks as well, just because you guys were like, yeah, we don't care about those cups in my last poll. So let's get into the battles here. Let's see what PinkGod777 has in store for us today. And I'm expecting some very fun battles. Defense Deoxys lead. So despite his horrible Lugia IVs, which by the way, Lugia here, you have to actually trade this thing to re-roll it, so it's a very difficult trade to get one actually under 1500 CP. And despite his awful IVs here on the Shiny Lugia, this actually is a pretty good matchup here against DD because he's double resisting the counters and actually going to call a Psycho Boost bait here. It is a Psycho Boost, but I don't quite think, can he get the farm down? And he can just barely not get the farm down, so going to have to give him a shield. But at the very least, he does have switch advantage, which might prove to be very valuable. And they bring in a knockdown. Oh my goodness. Are they going to respect this Aeroblast here? And that does so much damage. Oh my gosh. Lugia is a very attack-weighted, a very defense-weighted Pokemon. And that still did so much damage. And he brings in his Pikachu Libre here, guys. And if you're not realizing, this is not even a Hundo Pikachu Libre, so it's only 1015 CP on this Shiny Pikachu Libre. And that Shadow Ball from the knockdown almost one-shotted it. They have a Shadow Charizard in back and does correctly shield the Blast Burn, and that is massive because now I think after this Acid Spray he might be able to Poison Jab farm all the way down before they make a move, and they just barely can't get there, and now the knockdown is going to get farmed down as well, and that is a GG. So if he would have gotten baited there with the Claw, definitely would have been a GG, but the Shiny Shadow Kanto Muck gets the dub. And we have an Alolan Raticate in the next game, so very spicy pick by the opponent. It is running Quick Attack. This is not a purified one, so it's probably going to be on Crunch and Hyper Fang, I would imagine. And unfortunately, the opponent did call the bait there, just a Dark Pulse. I guess he didn't really even build up to a Sludge Wave, but just wanted to get some chip there. And they bring in an Ariados, so very spicy team by the opponent so far. But this is actually not that good of a matchup for them, because the Kanto Muck does fully wall their standard moveset. And the only way they probably would be able to KO with a one move there would be if they were running Mega Horn, So they're just going straight cross poison here. Shields the first, no shields the second, and they're going to have to respect this Dark Pulse here. I think it would probably be better if you're the opponent to go for lunges, unless of course they are running Mega Horn and they are running lunge. So why they didn't lunge the Muck there, I truly do not know. But again, PinkGod said he had to sacrifice quite a bit of elo to get these wins. So some of these wins are probably in the little bit lower elos, I would imagine. And it has the Lugia here. Looks like he might shield and commit to a full farm down because the opponent has no shields, and they're certainly not going to want to take an Aeroblast especially from that health range. Gets the boost, and there's a Whimsicott in the back, and unfortunately does actually get the catch. I was going to say, unfortunately, the opponent is going to outpace here, but gets the catch on the Muck, and now I think should make the Sky Attack, and that's going to be a GG. So the opponent there, if the opponent would have thrown on good timing, they would not have been able to catch that move, but gets the win nonetheless. Very nice win there, and that is going to be a GG. And by the way, guys, if you're wondering why I look like literal death incarnate, that is because I woke up early today between my night shifts to record this video, so I am running on like 5 hours of sleep after a very long 12.5-hour shift at work. And I don't remember what the lead was, but we have Scrafty here in the Kanto Muck, which is a very nice matchup. And just going straight Acid Spray here, wanting to make sure he maintains alignment. And unfortunately, they just barely make a move. Was this enough for a foul play? I was not counting, and just a pup. Very nice counting by Pink God here. And I don't think that was the lead. That was a Registeel lead. And oh my gosh, I'm just realizing that this whole team wants absolutely nothing to do with Registeel. I guess Pikachu Libre does have Flying Press, but we already saw, guys, a Shadow Ball from a Noctowl basically one-shots this Pikachu Libre, so I'm imagining basically any move from this Registeel is going to be one-shotting the Libre, but Flying Press is just such a broken move. It is a 40 energy move, which is the same energy as Thunder Punch, by the way, and Thunder Punch does 55 damage, not including Stab, of course, but Flying Press does 95 damage for 40 energy. Just 40 more damage than Thunder Punch for the same energy, which is absolutely insane. If this move was like more accessible with other Pokemon, it would easily be probably the most broken move in the entire game. But either way, he's got a Jellicent here, and it's looking like this Pikachu Libre has a lot of work to do, because after he takes out this Jellicent, they still have a shield. Yeah, I was going to say, and this Pikachu Libre has to take out the Registeel, so I really like catching the Surf here. That honestly might have been the only win con there, and the opponent surrendered there. What? Why did the opponent surrender? That was definitely not over, because they still could have Shadow Balled the Lugia. He had no shields, and I'm not even sure if he would have been able to outpace the Reggie to 2 moves there, so not sure why they surrendered there. They should have definitely played that out, but takes the dub either way, and he will definitely take that when you're running a spicy team like this. So next battle, we have a Swampert into the Kanto Muck. Swampert just straight up takes out the Kanto Muck. I believe he did say switch out of there. Once again, Nerds Rising is not paying attention to the battle. Sorry, Pink God. And what is the lead? I think, was it another Registeel lead? Maybe it was a Registeel lead. I have no idea. Maybe you guys can ask the cat in the background. She might have been paying more attention. And we're going to see how much an Aeroblast here does on the Reggie, and that does a lot of damage. That does over half of the Reggie's health, and now Pikachu Libre is going to need to put in some work here, guys. And, oh, it's a Zapdos, a Shadow Zapdos on the lead. Holy crap, this is looking really rough. How much is a Drill Peck going to do? Oh my gosh, that does so much damage. That does like 3/4 of the Libre's health, but at the very least, probably not going to be able to get farmed down by these Thunder Shocks here, because the Thunder Shocks are pretty heavily resisted, and I think the pacing is the same. Yeah, Drill Peck is the same energy as Thunder Punch. So unfortunately, oh, they actually let that go. I think that might be a mistake by the opponent, because now they're going to have to get this shield back anyway. I was going to say, if the opponent would have just matched shields there, they would have reached their Drill Peck, and then they just let it. What in the world is happening, guys? Am I missing something here? Am I just like completely at a loss here? So all the opponent had to do was shield up that Drill Peck, because Drill Peck is the same energy as Thunder Punch, so they could have just matched shields there and outpace. So they still have 2 shields here. He shields up the Focus Blast. They switch back into their Zapdos, and they easily can just match the pace here of this Libre and take it out. But I think they shielded the first one, and then they let the next one go. I'm so confused right now, guys. They win CMP here, so yeah, they win CMP. After he throws this Thunder Punch, they're going to be energy dry, and so is he. So they easily just match the shield here, outpace to a Drill Peck, and then they have a full health Registeel basically in back against this Lugia, or half health Reggie, but it does not matter. And then they just let this Flying Press go, so sorry guys, I just had to rewind that. I thought maybe I was just like not paying attention and just missed a key part of that game, but literally the opponent, for no reason whatsoever, threw that game that they probably were going to win. Maybe Pink God can enlighten us on what happened. Maybe he paid the guy. The opponent there gets hard countered by a Shadow Shiny Kanto Muck there. Opponent's in absolute champs. I guess if you look at the elo there, guys, he's dropped all the way down to 2136, so he is clearly a lot better than these opponents. And he has a Venusaur lead here in the next battle, which is actually pretty good for the Lugia and the Muck. So if the opponent switches out here, he will more than happily align this thing to his Muck. Gonna shield the Sludge Bomb. Makes sense. The opponent's gonna be less likely to bait on the first move. Whereas if you let a Sludge Bomb go first, they're probably gonna bait you with a Frenzy on the next one. So if you're gonna shield, makes sense to shield early. And they do go for Sludge Bomb. Lugia does pretty easily survive that, but should be able to get this last shield, and no, actually going to catch the Sludge onto the Kanto Muck. Very nice play. Recognizing if they're staying in, they could be weakened back, and they have a Galarian Slowbro here, so very cool spice by the opponent. This is just a Sludge Bomb, I believe. Oh, it's actually a Surf. I forgot that all the Slowbros now can know Surf, but barely calls that he can live it on 1 HP, gets the final shield, and now I think you kind of have to bring back in the Lugia, because this is definitely not Thunder Punch range. Does slightly overfarm here. Gonna take this out with an Aero Blast. What is gonna be in the back? And they have a Machamp, and these counters are double resisted. Excuse me, and the Lugia makes the move on like 1 HP. Is that literally 1 HP? Yeah, literally 1 HP, guys. Lugia lives 2 charge moves in this video on 1 HP and takes the dub. And now Pikachu Libre is going to do the honors here of taking out this Venusaur. Actually stops attacking for a second, just to flex the Shiny Libre for a moment on the opponent, and that's going to be a GG. So, a couple more battles, guys. Hope you're enjoying them so far. I always love to see what Pink God runs, and we have a Scrafty here in the next battle. And the opponent switches into a Togedemaru, and he has the perfect answer to this with the Pikachu Libre. And it looked like Pikachu Libre actually won CMP there. And no, it wasn't a CMP tie. Because of the one-turn switch, it looked like a CMP tie, but they just didn't get their move through. And wow, actually lives the Wild Charge on very low HP, and may actually make the Flying Press against the Scrafty. But no, they actually brought in a Ghost type there. What did they bring in? And it was a Drifblim, actually. So nice recognition there by going for the Thunder Punch. I might have just blind through the Flying Press there, which would have been triple resisted. And yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Might as well bring in the Muck here, because you don't really want to take the super effective damage on a Lugia. Very nice catch by the opponent, but honestly, this really doesn't help them that much, because now Lugia can maybe even just come in here and fully Dragon Tail all the way down. I'm not quite sure. Might have to throw a move, but should be able to easily live a foul play here. And again, counters are double resisted here. And yeah, wants to just make sure he gets a shield off the opponent. So going to throw some energy. They kind of have to shield at this point, but now should be able to shield one time and farm all the way down. Or is he going to call the pup there? And unfortunately does shield at the last second. It is a pup, but I think this is just a pup. Yeah, you can let this go. You'll get the last shield here with the Sky Attack, and then you should be able to just Poison Jab down the Drifblim, and that should be a G to the G. And actually catches the move by accident, but gonna shield it anyway. And I think, yeah, they full send the Shadow Ball, will outpace to the Dark Ball. It's actually just gonna farm all the way down, and that's gonna be a GG. So good game there. Opponent was core broken by the Lugia once again, and I think we're at maybe 3 more battles, guys. A Shadow Obama Snow in the lead. This is a very big core breaker for the team. Brings in the Muck, and he is met with a Jellicent, but is running Dark Pulse, so can hit this thing for massive, super effective damage. And is the opponent going to respect it, or are they going to call an Acid Spray here? And they let it go, and now can easily take switch advantage. Shield once, farm all the way down. They full send the Shadow Ball, and they don't even make another Shadow Ball. I think they had the Surf there, but they elected to try to go for the Shadow Ball. They don't make it. What is their response going to be to this Muck? And they bring back in the Abomasnow, so they are so weak to the Shadow Muck. And they do shield the Acid Spray as well. Kanto Muck is putting in so much work. They don't throw, and he makes another Acid Spray, guys. This Muck is about to 1v3 this team. And there's a Poliwrath in the back. They surrender. And the Shadow Muck completes the 1v3. And that is going to be a GG. Really cool Shadow, by the way. I really like this Shadow and this Shiny. Just a really cool pick. You really don't see that many. I do not have a Shadow Shiny Muck. I'd really like to have one, but I do not have one. And we have an Altaria in this battle, and it looks like Lugia wins CMP against Altaria, which means that it should be able to outpace to all these Sky Attacks. They do get there at the same time, and if he wants to, actually, he's going to maybe commit a shield and farm down. No, going to not respect it, knows he can live it. And can he get the farm down here? Very nice play by Pink God there to recognize he could actually no-shield that, maintain alignment, and come out of here with a ton of energy. And they come in with a Medicham, so they have no answer to this Lugia whatsoever, and makes the Sky Attack. Again, these counters are double resisted, and that does a lot of damage. And now has alignment, can bring in the Muck, probably shield the Psychic and farm all the way down. And just going to have to hope that the Pikachu Libre has a decent matchup in the back. Does shield the Psychic, gonna farm all the way down, and there's a Victory Bell in the back. You absolutely love to see it, and gonna Acid Spray. Let's bring in that Libre and Flying Press this thing, and no. Unfortunately, gonna play it safe. I was gonna say, what I would have done there is Acid Spray, and then bring in the Libre and Flying Press that Vic, just to flex the Shiny Libre on them, but takes the win nonetheless. Very difficult lead here in the next battle into Lantern, and gonna instantly bring in the Kanto Muck. And let's see what the opponent wants to do here. They're going to stay in. They're going to chip with the Surf. And no, they're actually going to full send the Thunderbolt. And then they bring in a Medicham here. So it's really looking like Shadow Kanto Muck, guys. Of all the Pokemon on this team, the Shadow Kanto Muck really has quite a bit of play. Lots of teams are very soft to this thing, it appears, and just takes it out. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Can now put the Pikachu Libre on this, which honestly probably isn't the best matchup, because the Surf is probably still going to do massive damage here. But what I was saying, guys, is the Kanto Muck appears to have a lot of play in this current meta. Lots of people bringing their Medichams into it. And by the way, I'm not sure if Pink God knows this, but Flying Press is a way better neutral move than Thunder Punch. It does significantly more damage, to the point where even if Flying Press is neutral and Thunder Punch is super effective, it is still better to go for the Flying Press. And also, if Flying Press is resisted, but Thunder Punch is neutral, it's still better to go for the Flying Press. That is just how good of a move it is. So, unfortunately, the opponent does have a Pelipper in the back, and throws on very nice timing here. And I think at this point the win con is getting the shield, having the opponent throw right away. And no, the opponent over farms. Oh my gosh, opponent, why? I think the opponent just threw the game there. They had the move, they do not throw it. And Pikachu Libre has the Flying Press, and there he recognized it was better to go for the Flying Press, takes the win. But yeah, the opponent definitely had the Weather Ball, so I'm not sure why they over farmed there. But his very nice move timing allowed him to get to that Sky Attack. And this is the last battle, guys, into a Surfetched. The Dream lead has two good answers to this as well. And once again, the opponent is staying in. So Lugia definitely appears to have some core breaking potential as well. And actually looks like he could take even one more Night Slash. The opponent tries to catch, and now it is Pikachu Libre time. Unfortunately, Dugong can definitely live one Flying Press, but he is definitely not going to be able to tank a Drill Run here. And yeah, this is looking a little rough. Does pretty drastically outpace at the very least. And of course, the opponent baits with the Icy Wind. Goes on very nice timing, but I think since he has a little bit of energy lead, if he wants to commit both shields, might be able to maintain alignment here. I think as long as the Ice Shards can't farm him down, he should be able to maintain alignment, and throws on perfect timing there after 4 Thunder Shocks, and now will be able to guarantee switch advantage. And the opponent recognizes that, and they just let it go. So very nice recognition by the opponent that he was at the back-to-back. And that debuff Flying Press still nearly KOs the Surfetched, and there's a Meganium in the back. And this is over, guys. Shadow Kanto Muck again proving to core break basically that entire team, and I believe he still has the move loaded. So even if this is the Earthquake, Lugia has the move loaded, and just going to stay in, force the Earthquake. They Frenzy Plant, and they top left, and that is going to be all she wrote, folks. So thanks for bearing with me today. I am going back to work tonight, but then I'm off the weekend, so hopefully I'll get some Ultra League Fantasy Cup action out for you guys this weekend. We will see what I'm up to, but thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you to PinkGod777 for sending in some absolutely insane spice to close out our Great League this season. And that being said, if you want to check me out on Discord, link in the description. If you'd like to see your battles featured on the channel, please send them in through the link as well in the description. And then finally, we're about halfway through August now, guys, so start sending me in your top wins of the month if you have not. And that will also be, you guessed it, in the description. And that being said, if you're new to the channel, if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so, because the more subscribers we can get, the more Pokemon my wife will let me play.